And a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Purport today, hope you're doing grand and Osborne your world. Hello there, everybody. Today, people of the tube, we are looking at this fantastic chorus / vibrato pedal from Behringer, and asking the question: is it worth it? I think you already know my answer, but let's dive in anyway. So yeah, here it is, people of the tube. On my Californication John board here, I think this thing is amazing. So it's a copy of the famous Boss C1. You have the preamp over this side, high and low control there, so you can control the level of your amp there. You can kind of like clean up a dirtier amp, and you can also send your amp into overdrive. And the overdrive on this pedal is amazing. If you put it in high mode and crank the level, it sounds fantastic. I love it. You got the chorus intensity dial there. That's all you've got for the chorus, and then you've got your vibrato mode over here with depth and rate. And basically, you get to that by clicking this one. So the slow pulse one I've got is chorus, and the fast one is vibrato. It is stereo. You have mono stereo input input there. 9 volt. Looks cool, is cool, sounds great. Is it worth it? In my humble opinion, people of the tube, yes, it blooming is. It's amazing. So, I'm going to go through a couple of sounds today. There isn't a lot to show because it's, it does what it does. But first thing I'm going to show you is just the chorus and the vibrato mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the chorus intensity on 0. And basically what I'll do is I'll put it at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, then we'll put it at 3 o'clock, and we'll put it all the way up, let you hear that. I normally like to run it about 1 o'clock. That sounds fantastic there. And then I'll show you the vibrato as well, and basically just have a bit of a play around with that. And then after that's done, we'll go on to talking about the preamp inside this thing, because I think it's fantastic. I really do love this pedal. I tried it when we were on tour down south, and we were staying in Guildford. I tried it. I got this from Anderton's, and I tried it there, and I was like, "Yep, I'm not leaving the shop without one of these." So here it is. I invariably always run it, just as you know, just to let you know. Sorry, the output thing. The level control. I always run it on the high mode, and I normally run it about 10 o'clock. So it's kind of like that way, if you will. Yeah, so I normally run at about 10 o'clock, high mode. Chorus is about 1 o'clock. I always have the depth all the way up on the vibrato, and I have the rate at 11 o'clock. That's basically how I set this pedal. I don't really mess with it, because I like the way it sounds. And again, it sounds like, does it do the John Frusciante thing? Yes, it does. Will it control that and this? It never really needed to, so we're not going to go into that. Anyway, it's more your amp than it is this thing, and it always was. But anyway, moving along. I'll talk later on about my theory on that. But anyway, without further ado, let's make some more noise with the Behringer Chorus Symphony pedal. I love this thing. It's fantastic. It really is great. So I'll show you the bypass signal first, just to let you know we're going. We're going to be using the vintage V6 icon today as well, and Boss Katana Artist that's all the way over there, Mark II today. And you're going to be hearing the DI signal as well, so no mics or anything like that. Just let you hear it like as clean as a whistle. So without further ado, let's make some noise. So hopefully with YouTube, as you can hear, it sounds rather spectacular. Hopefully that's come across okay. Like I said, I'm going DI because, well, microphone placement gets on my nerves sometimes, and today's one of those days where I'm just like, oh, screw it, I'm going DI. And also, you'll be able to hear it really clear of what it does and what it doesn't do with the DI. And I think it sounds great. I really do. It sounds amazing. I have tried it in stereo as well, but and I will be doing a video on that, but I'm saving that for the Pearly King John Frusciante setup video. Basically, we're going to run the Studio Vintage for Jubilee into this pedal board and have the actual John Frusciante Californication kind of setup as close as I can get. Obviously, it's not the major, it's not a vintage Jubilee. You get the idea. But anyway, I think it sounds great. I really do. I think this pedal is amazing. It just, and again, people who we know who use this pedal, people like John Frusciante, Andy Summers used one. I mean, so many people have used these things throughout the years. It sounds right. It's that really warm, lush, like chorus sound that we all know and love, and the vibrato is ace as well. I love the vibrato. It's just gorgeous. It's so dreamy, especially if you go ambient with it. Like, if you put like loads of reverb on it, it's just like ambient mania. This isn't going to sound great because the amp's behind, but it's such a warm, rich chorus sound. It's amazing. And again, the vibrato mode just is like wibble central. It's great wibble. I mean, what's not to love? Especially if you're going to do like those John Frusciante high kind of piggyback. Let's go back to no. And you can hear the Black Summer sound. Yeah, you can hear that's in there as well. It's just mega. I think it's fantastic. So what I'm going to do now, people tube, because that's basically it. That's it. There's not a great deal. It's plug in, play, have fun. It does what it says on the tin. One thing the thing I'm going to show you now, we're going to talk about the preamp. So let's have a waffle about the preamp quick before we move on. So I've seen a lot of people talking about the CE1, how important it is to like John Frusciante's kind of like signal chain, whereas I'm not so sure. I'm not. I've always got around without something like that. Using. Am I really white? I'm gonna get out of the way. I don't like that. It's summer and I have to have my arms out, so I don't like it. I'm very uncomfortable right now. Anyway, but yeah. So everyone always goes on about how kind of important that kind of like that preamp is. But personally, I've never seen it as kind of like an important part. Still don't believe it is an important part. I think more than anything, I reckon the CE1 is used to control the overdrive from John's amps. Like, they turn it down if the amps are overdriving too much, and they turn it up if it's not overdriving enough. And I bet any money John fiddles with that thing like nobody's business. I bet it's all over the place. Every gig, I bet it's in a different spot. Because I have seen it at 12 o'clock, I've seen it at 11, I've seen it down at like 10, 9 o'clock, I've seen it above 12 o'clock, I've seen it at like 1 o'clock. I've never seen it above 1 o'clock. But to me, I think 1 o'clock, if you're going to run something like this at 1 o'clock, John always runs it on the high mode. And I reckon Hyde Park, he's got the C1 at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because it's so... Actually, it's probably even more than that, to be honest with you, Pikachu. This is up, we're getting up to like 3 o'clock. Anyway, I'll show you this isolated in a second. But I've seen it. I've seen pictures of this, the preamp dial all over the chip shop with John's. So, you know, I don't think it really does... It's not an important pedal. It's just nice to have something like this that does this thing. And again, this is such a great example. I love it. And for, how much was this? 70 quid? I think it was, something like that. I can't remember now what I bought it for. 60 quid, whatever it was worth it. I cannot, if you're a John nut, cool. If you're not a John nut and you're after a chorus pedal, get it. It's amazing. Great chorus sound. Preamp is great fun. The vibrato is great fun. It's simple. There's not much to it. It's big. That's the only thing I will say. Like, you can see how big the thing is on my pedal board. It is a big pedal, but it is worth it. And again, I know why. I understand why they've made it so big. They're trying to make it look like the original. That's super cool. So what I'm going to do now, people, I'm going to show you the preamp. So what we'll do is we'll flick it over to the low, and we'll start with it turned off. And I'll show you it on the low mode first. So basically, at this point in time, we got nothing. And I'll show you the low mode on the preamp first, all the way to the top. And then I'll turn it all the way back down again. I'll switch it to high, and I'll show you the high mode as well. And like I say, once you get high mode up all the way, the overdrive is to die for. It sounds fantastic. It really does. So let me turn the room mic off, and let's go diving into the preamp. Okay, people, tube. There you go. That's the preamp. So basically, the first time around, you heard me in the low mode go from 9, 12, 3, and then all the way up on the dial. And then on the second time, you heard it in the high mode from, again, 9, 12, 3, all the way up. All the way up sounds fantastic. It's got a real kind of like classic rock overdrive sound. It's fantastic. It's just a great pedal. That is just a great pedal. Sounds great. Everything about it is great. It's inexpensive. It does what it says on the tin. Anyone got a problem with that? No? It's so good. It really is so good. Is it worth it? Yeah, definitely. It's such a great pedal. It really is. I love it. I really do love it. It's not coming off this board. I will say, and I do concede, it adds something to your sound. It really does. There's a certain... The preamp in this thing, it's the same as the Past Effects Chorus Ensemble. They add a certain presence. It's not a treble, but it's like a sparkle almost. Without them, it's a tad darker. Not a great deal, but just a tad. And they add a little bit of kind of like, this and the Past Effects Chorus Ensemble. They add a certain sparkle, which is super, super cool. And I like very much. And again, it sounds amazing. I love the chorus on this thing. I love vibrato as well, which is something I've never really used a great deal of. Vibrato isn't, but this one is so good, and especially if you're going for that Californication era kind of like Suck My Kiss, John Frusciante thing. I was going to peek the camera, but. Yeah, you heard me mess around with it in the sound example. It just does that thing, because John used vibrato for something like Kiss, not chorus. And it just sounds mega. It really does sound mega. Definitely worth it. Really is. Yeah, Behringer have absolutely kind of whacked. It's 6, this is. It's 4! Out of the way, it's going to hit you in the head. I don't know what else to say. It's just a great pedal. Go out and try one. If you're not, even if you're after a decent chorus pedal and you're on a budget, that's the one. If you're not after a decent, if you don't have a budget and you're after a decent chorus pedal, that's the one. They're so good. There's also the Past Effects Chorus Ensemble, which is amazing as well. But this one is the cheap and cheerful alternative to all them. It really is just like insanely good. I can't say enough good things. Will it last? We will find out, Poovatube. That is one thing I am curious about these things, is like, what's the longevity like of this thing? Because of the price point, you do have to think that, but I can't think, to be honest with you, it's going to die anytime soon. It's consistently sounds great. To be honest with you, it's probably more consistent and more reliable than the old ones, to be fair with you. I hear a lot of horror stories about the old ones, which aren't the best. Even back when they were new, they were sketchy because of what the technology at the time. But yeah, they're amazing. A couple of woes that I've heard people talk about are volume drops in the sound when they turn it on and off. I haven't experienced that with mine, So if yours is doing that, maybe it might be a faulty unit. There's always going to be faulty units. There's nothing we can do about that. You know, the best company in the world making the best pedals in the world will have a faulty unit eventually, whether we like it or not, or they like it or not. That's just the way it works. It's luck of draw. But I've not had anything like that with this. So I just want to quickly show you what I mean. I'm going to do it on room mic. This whole concept of like, I do apologise about my phone. What I think John uses the CE1 for more than anything is to control his marshals. It's not necessarily to boost them, because he already runs a Jubilee on flat out. He doesn't need to boost that thing. That's already distorted, and the major will be clean-ish. It won't be 100% clean because of where he runs the volumes on that thing. Anyway, and the same with the JMP now as well. But let me show you what I mean. So at this point in time, I've gone to. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll overdrive the amp a bit more. So at this point in time, the amp's overdriving. You'll hear it in the room. It'll sound bad because the amp's behind you in the wrong room mic. It does have something to it. The same with the Past Effects chorus ensemble. They have something to them. When you put them in your signal chain, they add something. Anyway, but yeah. So if I crank the level now in high, loads of gain. But I can now bring that gain down a long way. Pretty much all the way. All of a sudden I'm clean. That amp is fully distorted. Not anymore. I'm using the preamp of the chorus Symphony to control how much gain is coming through the amp. And I believe this is how John uses his C1. It's not the be all and end all. It's there as a it's like a failsafe. It's like a control. No, that's not the right word. It's there as like a gate to see how much gain John wants or doesn't want at any given time, and he can mess with it how he wishes. So again, just to give you an idea, what I'll do is I'll go from where the dial is now, where we've got clean, basically. Well, John Frusciante dirty clean. Jimi Hendrix kind of sound. John stuff. And then I can sweep this dial up and get mass distortion. There's enough gain here to do Gary Moore. If I can find a spot. There it is. Let's not go any further with that one. So, that's, again, it's a theory, but I reckon it's a good one. Anyway, and it's based in some kind of fact as well, because this is what it works the same way. And you can do this with the Past Effects as well, to be honest with you, where you can really control the amp. You can really dial down the amount of gain that your amp is giving out with this thing. It just makes things so controllable. It's super cool. And like I say, you can go from like a heavy distorted amp. That's the brown mode with the gain cranked you just heard just then, to really clean just by turning down the level dial on the preamp. There's so much control in there. Anyway, and like I say, with John Frusciante's thing, that's it. I mean, and it works to just boost signal chain and stuff like that. And you can overdrive things. You can ride the volume control. It's super super cool. It just gives options. And again, the chorus is fantastic. It's a great chorus sound. It gives you that 70s, 80s chorus sound. It's so rich, it's warm, the vibrato is the same, it's so usable, and I love it. Anyway, enough gushing about the Behringer chorus Symphony. It's wicked. If you're after a chorus pedal, go and try one of these things. You won't regret it. They're amazing. They really are cool. And again, for the price point, it's like this is like one of those pedals that, like, if this broke, I would be going and buying another one. Like, I love it that much. Like, if this broke, or when this breaks, if it does, in my lifetime, I will just go out and buy another one. Because they're not ridiculously expensive. You know what I mean? They're just not. And they sound great. This isn't the one I tried and I tried the shop kind of floor model, if you will. That sounded great. And then I got this one, fresh out of the box. This one sounded great as well. So it's like, and Behringer are great. I love Behringer pedals. They've always made great pedals. Like the only problem with Behringer pedals, more than anything, most of the time, is their plastic enclosures. Because the sounds that Behringer pedals have are fantastic. It's just the plastic enclosures that always freak me out, because I've seen these things catastrophically explode when people stand on them, and it's not the best, especially because they're so good sounding pedals. It's a shame. But again, for the price point they are, you can just go and get another one. You know, they're so inexpensive and they're so usable and so good. They're just super cool. And I don't see why, if you look after it and you treat it with respect, it won't last you a lifetime. I really don't see why. I mean, unless there's a fault, in which case, again, they're not going to break the bank to go out and get another one. Anyway, people of YouTube, now it's your turn. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below to the Behringer Chorus Symphony. What did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you think it sounds good? Do you think it sounds bad? Let me know in the comment section below. Very curious to hear your thoughts. Also, do you have one? And have you tried one? And what were your thoughts on it? Because this is just my opinion. This is one idiot's opinion. It doesn't mean anything to anybody but myself. But I do implore you to go out and try these things if you're after a chorus pedal of any description. These things rule the day. Like I said, they are big. That's another problem with it, to be honest with you. That's probably the major negative I have with this pedal, is the size. Because it is a monster. But it is what it is. I understand why they made it that way. And I don't really have a qualm with it, really. But I can see why that would be annoying to some. I really can. It's a very, very big pedal. It takes up a lot of real estate on your board. But yeah. Anything else to say? I don't think there is. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this vid, people of YouTube, on the Behringer Chorus Symphony. I keep forgetting what it's called. I don't know. I just want to call it a chorus pedal, because I'm simple. Anyway, yes, and I know my head isn't in frame. That's on purpose. He isn't framed the shot properly. I just don't want you to see my face, because I'm saving you the worry and the oh my god, what the hell is wrong with him? Anyway, hope you enjoyed this vid. That pedal's ace. Yeah, I'll see you again very soon for another one. Hope you enjoyed this vid. I'll see you again very soon. I've just said that twice in a row because I'm thinking about something else. I got distracted looking at the pedal. That's what happened. Anyway, I'm going to go now. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Links to that in the description box below, as well as links to my Bandcamp, where you can listen to some of the music, and links to my band, Red Giant, and whatnot. It's all down there. Anyway, thank you very much indeed. I'll see you again very soon, and yeah, go and give one a go. I say yes. For whatever that means. For whatever that's worth. See you later. Goodbye.